Our first speaker for the day is Mr. Vishant Pai. He works for a reputed IT company as a IT security and compliance head. He is passionate about equities and has been investing in the markets since 2008. He currently does only medium term investing in cash segment. He will be speaking on active investment using pullback strategy. This session will be moderated by Mr. B. Krishnakumar.
Hi, Vishant. Nice to have you here. Before we get started, why don't you just introduce yourself and give us a brief idea about your trading journey and how Define Edge helped you become a better trader?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have started my investment journey since 2007, and like everyone else, immediately in 2008, I got a big jolt. That time, I was more of a very, a trader in terms of working on tips or some subscription services, and that's how I started. But 2008, everything fell apart. All my dreams of the stock market investing and all those stuff actually fell apart, like many of us during that time. But stock market has always been my passion. So whether you are in loss or profit, but the whole idea of stock markets, the whole idea of data analysis, the whole idea of reading charts was something that has always fascinated me. So I again started, but that time I was not aware of I mean how well you can use charts, or I was not even aware of the word technical analysis, to be very honest, or to a matter of fact fundamental analysis. Then for a lot of I mean between I think 2011 to 2014, I did a lot of SIPs in like major blue chips like HDFC banks and Reliance, only few companies. And I was able to do that for a very long time. And that time, just without any kind of background, I mean I made some decent money there. And then again I got a lot of confidence, and then without any knowledge I again started doing options, I again started doing futures. I again burned my hands there, okay, because there was practically no kind of support there, or practically no kind of knowledge on how to do a very process based, I mean use process based approach for investing. So in 2018, I got introduced to point and figure, and it was just by chance because I was just doing a Google search on price action, and surprisingly, point and figure was like in I mean it was kind of coming quite often in my searches. Then I googled more, and I was that time even in 2018, around 2018 ends, there was a good a flood of Telegram channels. So what I did was that I just subscribed to few channels, and luckily I found Abhishek Datta, who's also a good point and figure practitioner for a very long time. And I did a course along with him, and it was a very thorough course. It was, I think, for a complete month for all the weekends. So what I did was that I enrolled to that course, and that was my journey, and that is how I was introduced to point and figure. And since then, I mean, I have, I know, I mean, spent a lot of time into this charts, watching charts. So initially, like my mentor suggested, I used to scan daily Nifty 500 charts, and so that time I used to trade. I mean, everybody knows who are into point and figures, the ABC pattern. So I used to only trade in ABC pattern. So wherever I used to find, and that time, even after doing this course, there was a lot to learn. But to begin with, I just started, and in fact, that was my my introduction to system trading. So it was a very simple system. We used to just look at ABC patterns about the triple moving averages, and wherever there was a follow through to the ABC pattern, I used to take that trade. Then I did that for a couple of months, and I was successful. I was able to invest very actively using that system. But again, there were a lot of things that were missing, like relative strength, then breadth analysis, and there were a lot of advanced concepts which I felt that I should put more time. And and it was my, so I again did a course basically with Define Edge. That was like a 2 days advanced course, and I mean, you were one of my mentors along with Raju sir. That
Oh,
was a time, yeah, that was a time I did. I mean, I got introduced to the turtle breakouts. I mean, so I mean, you guys created a specific plan for turtle breakouts. I, in fact, even did like for next 4 or 5 months, I continuously traded on that particular pattern, right?
okay, Vishant, let me interrupt you here. There are so many patterns in point and figure, etc., isn't it?
Correct.
Because we have been doing this course for so many years now, the common question that we get asked is which is the best pattern, or how do we pick and choose the patterns, etc. So, did you not encounter that kind of a question in your mind? Where you said you started off with the ABC pattern, you are dealing with it for a while, and then you got attracted towards turtle breakouts, right? Did you
Correct.
not ever think about any other pattern, or how did you overcome that question in your mind about which pattern should I follow? Was there any logic behind choosing these two patterns?
Yeah, yeah. So when I chose the first pattern, it was purely, out of the suggestion by Abhishek. Even in the book, and I used to, randomly used to read the book. And in the book also, Prashant sir also suggested that, oh, it's one of the good patterns. But when it came to turtle breakouts, so I mean, so one thing was that, during the ABC, I was not even aware of so many patterns actually. So that was actually to my advantage. So I could, use that pattern for a very long time, right? When it came to turtle breakouts, that also, interested me. So and there's another reason. Okay, that time I was not so well versed with the box sizes, right?
Yeah.
So I used to only do 0.25 when I did the advanced training with you guys. So that was a time when I realized that, okay, 1% is specifically for, I mean, obviously it was taught to me, but it never occurred to me that, okay, I am choosing a wrong box size for my investment.
Yeah,
Ideally, I
yeah,
choose a 1% box size. So, so the other challenge with ABC was that you can't. I mean, there is no specific, pattern available. So turtle breakout you can scan easily, right?
yeah,
For ABC,
yeah.
you have to scan all the charts. So that's the reason I switched to the turtle breakouts
Okay.
for a very. In fact, I still do turtle breakouts, right? The only thing is that I have tweaked it to. So I mean, if you keep on practicing the same patterns, you get to know where that pattern fails, and you get to know, where what modifications you need to do. So I'm still doing turtle breakouts. So I think it's almost 8 or 9 months that I've done this training, the advanced training on PNF. Since then, I'm still using turtle breakout. I sometimes do change the box size, because if I do long term investing, I go to 3%. But if I'm doing, like, say, mid caps and, like, in a, a small time frame
Yeah.
investments, I choose 1%. So that's how I choose. And in fact, this particular session that we are doing is again, it's a very interesting
But
that
again, what made you come up with this pullback strategy? Because both
yeah,
ABC and, of course, Turtle Breakout is a breakout system, isn't it? Your entries are at a higher level on a breakout, right? Essentially. So
right.
what you're presenting here is basically some kind of buying on a pullback, isn't it? If I've got it right.
Yeah, yeah. So I,
So
in fact,
is it that you are psychologically more comfortable buying on a retracement? Is that your mindset which prompted you to come up with this method?
No, no, no. I'll tell you. So I mean, it's a very interesting thing that has happened. See, because when you keep doing, if you keep using a point and figure, you get a lot of ideas in your mind on how to improve the overall, overall your success criteria, or overall your trading setups. So I
Yeah.
was reading this book. I mean, everybody is aware of Point and Figure book by Prashant Shah. So there was just, in fact, when we go through the slides, I have actually extracted that particular portion of the book. So there is a very interesting saying in the book that bear traps works quite well in the trending stock. Okay,
Right. Right.
That one sentence actually, it made me realize, I mean, why can't I test this basically? I mean, it's better to backtest it, and I tried to make a system, and in fact, this is a whole system I'm sharing.
Okay.
The other thing is that you will be surprised that these are like one or two liners, but you can create an entire system based on those one or two liners. So I mean, if
Right.
you read the book 10 times, you will get at least 100 systems that you can develop in
That's true.
yeah. So what I've done is that, see, I mean, I'm like I said, now there's another interesting thing that happens when you do bear traps and when you do turtle breakouts. You will be surprised that so many times ABC pattern is part of this particular this
Yes.
setups.
Yes.
So if I
Yes.
see bear trap, so bear trap is forming on the right hand side, but if you see the ABC pattern is in progress. Okay.
Okay.
Many times what happens if you see a turtle breakout, you see that turtle breakout is actually when the turtle breakout happens, right? It is right at the 45-degree trend line of ABC pattern. So many times it has happened with me. So like I said, even there are 100 patterns, but to be very honest, I am only doing. Now ABC is just an outcome of the setup that I will discuss.
Yeah.
Even for turtle breakout, same thing happens. I don't actually now actively look for ABC patterns. I just get more convictions when I get this particular pattern. So it has been that kind of.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
been
let's get
it's
started then. I'm really excited now.
So again, this particular, so I have something. I mean, there's something called as concept of breadth
Oh,
in point and figure. I mean, obviously it works like an advanced decline, but here it is more objective because we use the existing patterns to calculate the breadth. So
right.
it is either double top buy, which is a kind of a breakout, 3-column breakout, or it's a column of X. So if a stock is in column of X, it means it is bullish, right? And if it is
So you are
column of
using the P of X% as the breadth indicator here. Am I right?
as of now, I'm taking DT%, which is double top by percent,
Acha, you are
and
using double top by percent. Okay, fine. So
and
just in case people don't know about point and figure, there is a method in point and figure chart wherein you can use the double top buy pattern or basically you count the number of stocks that are in a double top buy pattern and also in a column of X, and you calculate the percentage of such stocks in relation to the total universe. So yeah, that's the breadth indicator, which is called as DT%, which is available in the TradePoint software. So which is what Vishant is using for this presentation. Please go ahead.
yeah. So again, this concept is very well explained in Prashant sir's book, and so I have used that concept to improve my trading accuracy, right? Because sometimes what happens, if you only stick to patterns, right, you have to also ensure that you have to also ensure that when is the right time to trade those patterns, okay?
Yeah.
Because every
Yeah.
pattern is prone to failures, right? No pattern is 100% correct, okay? But we can only try to improve the accuracy of those patterns. So it is very well explained, and that's why I've also called it as a what not to do an indicator. It's actually an
So can
indicator
you
for
quickly run through this slide here, just to understand?
yeah. So what I do is that basically, if for example, if I'm doing a pullback, so what I've done is that because I do pullbacks and turtle breakouts, obviously this session is more towards pullback trading. So
Yeah.
if a DT% is 0 to 20, it means if even if we take Nifty 50, okay, because it's more of a sentiment index for everyone. So if the double top buy stocks in double top buy is between 0 and 20, okay, it means that the market is in little bearish phase. And ideally speaking, you should avoid turtle breakouts because breakouts failure is more higher on when the
Okay.
market is between 0 and 20. But pullbacks, what you can do is that pullbacks are something which are actually good to trade during this period, because if some stock is coming out of retracements, that means those are the first stocks which are showing sign of strength during this market phase. But because it is 0.20, what I do is that ideally I take 0.5% of total capital per stock. I just risk that much of capital. So if my capital is 1 lakh, right? So I will only take 500 rupees loss per stock that I'm investing. Okay.
Okay.
So
So
when it is
basically, you are reducing the risk because the breadth is not supportive.
correct. And this again is mentioned in Prashant sir's book. So this is nothing that
Okay.
I have invented. Everything is
Right.
mentioned in the book. I have just like tried to simplify it and made it as my
Yeah.
system basically,
Got it.
right? Okay, so similarly, if it is 20 to 60, I will put my entire risk, which is 0.5%. If it is okay, there's another thing is sometimes what happens, breath actually starts falling, even if it is like within 20 and 60, but it is falling. So it's actually kind of a sign for you to be a little cautious. So I will say I still trade that particular setup, but again I reduce my risk. Again,
Okay.
if DT% is between 60 and 100, so like now this is a very full bullish phase, and then there is a correction bound. You can actually say that there could be some immediate correction there. So I don't want
Okay.
to get caught on the wrong side and start trading. But again, see, pullbacks are very interesting. They usually work in most setups. So if you look at the right hand side, turtle breakouts you should completely avoid. When it is above 60 or 100, or it is below 0 and 20, it is better to avoid them, right?
Right.
Yeah, but if it is between the middle zone, you can then trade as per the capital. So this just it's kind of a timing for me, nothing else, right?
So when you're talking about trading pullbacks, irrespective of whether the breadth is overbought or in neutral territory, do you have trend following in mind, or do you exit at predetermined targets when you are buying on pullbacks? What is the strategy there?
Yeah, I'll just go next actually, because that's so that explains your question. Just hold on. Okay. So the first question is, how do you define a trend, basically?
Okay.
Because that's the first question, because I cannot run this scanner simply on Nifty 500, right? Because not all the stocks are in the trending, and if I go back to the book, it clearly says that the breadth should be the breadth, the particular pullback setup or the bear traps, which is a pattern. It works fantastically when the stock is trending, right?
Correct.
So how I have defined. So we will also go through the process overall. So within 20, so what I do is that first I check stocks which are within 25% of 52-week high. Okay.
Okay.
So I know that these stocks are near their all-time high or near 52-week high, and they have just retraced 25%. So which
Okay.
gives me a fantastic opportunity to catch those stocks which have fallen by 20 to 25%, right? But I am not satisfied there. What I do is that so I also check the moving averages. So basically I
Okay.
want the opening up of the moving averages. So these are the conditions. 13 EMA should be greater than 55, 55 by 80, 89, 89 greater than 144, and 144 greater than 283. So these are just Fibonacci numbers. There is nothing. I mean, you can take simple 10, 50, 100, 150, 200. It should also work, right? And additionally, what I do is that when I actually do my the bear trap scanner that I use, right? So there is an additional condition in my bear trap setup, is where I check for the RSI which is above 55.
This
And
RSI, is it in candlesticks chart or in point and figure?
no, it's in point and figure. So RSI condition is in point and figure.
Okay. And the
Okay.
remaining EMA conditions, I presume, it's in candlestick charts, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That's it. And specifically, I use this input type as close. I mean, now don't ask me the reason why close, but when I backtested using the average method, the accuracy was very low. But the moment I changed the input type to close, the accuracy went to a very large extent. It actually was very good.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I have not yet done a proper analysis as to
So
why
you
that is
basically
happening.
start off with identifying candidates which are within 25% from the 52-week high, and then you look for the specific EMA configuration, and then out of that lot, you further filter it using RSI above 55 in point and figure, right?
RSI. So I'll just show you. I mean,
Okay.
quickly I will show you the process. It's very simple, thanks to TradePoint. So there is something called as 52-week scanner, which is recently introduced by TradePoint.
Right. Right.
So I just let me choose Nifty 500. Okay, I don't change any settings. I just say 25%. I just want to see stocks. So it will be like closing price. Sorry, high and low here, because it's a candlestick scanner,
Right.
and weekly. Okay, 52, because we are looking at 52 weeks.
Right.
Okay, and I see
Perfect.
high. Yeah, so I just scan, and I just have to save this below 25%. Okay,
Okay.
so it's giving me. So if you see here, retracement within 25%. So if you see AU Bank here, AU Bank is within 25%. Okay,
Right.
it's very quick. I'll just save to this as 0.52 week. Okay, so I
Okay.
know that. Yeah, and my group is ready. Now I go to EOD scanner, OHIC scanner.
Right.
Here I will select this group 52 week. On this group, I will run my trend filter.
Right.
Like I said, and trend filter is very easy. If I go to trend filter, this is my system builder where we design systems.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
beautiful feature. So those conditions I mentioned here are covered here basically.
Got it.
The last condition is only that my stock should be above 50 DMA. Probably I have missed that in the presentation. But this
Perfect.
fifth condition is that it should be above the high price should be above 50 EMA.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I will run this scanner quickly.
Okay.
So let me open one chart so it will give you more clarity.
But any reason why you are using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moving averages, Vishant? Does that give you any particular edge or something? Meaning, wouldn't two
Not really
or
basic. Like I
three
said, I
combine?
mean, yeah, we can we can drop one moving average like 100 DMA we can move because most
No, no,
likely
no. I just out of curiosity, I'm asking. So,
no, I mean no specific logic. Like I said, I just tried to use the Fibonacci series. That's it. So
okay,
if you see,
okay,
just you see all these moving averages are just opening up, right? So this
correct.
means that the stock is trending. So it is about, so any stock you pick here, and I'm just picking a random stock. Okay, see here.
Okay.
So Apollo Hospitals, see
Yeah.
continuously trending. So
Okay.
this actually helps me to define the trend. That's it, nothing
Okay.
else.
Okay.
Save to, I will call this as a trending stocks.
Okay.
Right. Now what I do is that now that my setup is ready here, now I will go to my point and figure.
You're
So
going
like
to
I
the
said,
point figure scanner here, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
like I said, it's a very simple setup. Pattern bear trap at 0, and like
Okay.
I said, RSI above 55 at 0,
Okay. Okay.
and the condition is close here. Okay. So what I
Fine.
do right now, yeah. Now because I will use fresh and I will use it on trending stocks. And I do it on 1% because, like I said, I don't want to do a short-term trading. I at
Okay.
least want to be 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months in the trade. Okay.
Okay.
So let me check if there are any candidates available. So we will go to few examples here, which are there in the presentation. So we can go to and fro to presentation and these
Yeah.
trade
Yeah. No,
points.
this is even interesting. Rather than the presentation, you are giving a sort of a live demo. That'll be easier to follow. Yeah.
So let us check this candidate. Quest.
Right.
And
Okay.
what we can see here that, I mean, the beauty here is that in TradePoint you know your risk in advance. Okay, so here
Right.
I can see percent from DBS is already 7%, right?
Right.
So what I will do is that I go to Quest and look at this chart, right? So bear traps, let me just give you a small introduction of bear trap. It is basically DBS followed by DTB. Okay.
But there is a sell signal, and then immediately after the sell, you have a buy signal, right?
Yes,
That is
yes.
what is called as the bear trap, right?
Right. Again, here there was a sell signal and immediately there
Right.
was a buy signal. Right?
Okay.
Okay. Now what happens if you see mostly bear traps near the moving average? Okay. Near the moving averages, if there are bear traps and the stock is trending, the probability of this stock going up is quite high. Okay.
Okay.
So what I do is that usually, so if you look at so now your question was your entry and exit basically. How will you
Right.
enter and exit? So because so for instance, what I will do is that Quest was a stock which which was like closed at around 869, 869.80. Now if I just place my cursor here on the last column, you can
Yeah.
see on right hand side in the commentary box there is something called as continuation box.
Correct.
Okay. that could be my potential entry at around 877, 877 or 878 or even 880. I can dare
Okay.
to enter. Okay, and my stop loss is my DBS. So my stop
Okay.
loss is around 809. So
Okay.
approximately, if you notice, most of the time your risk will be in the range of 10 to 15%, right?
Right.
Now if I do so, what I do is that I adjust my quantity based on the risk. Okay.
Okay.
So if the risk is high, my quantity will be low, and if the
So
risk
one
is low,
question,
my
Vishant.
quantity will be
So in the scanner, it identified at least 8 or 10 candidates, isn't it? Are you
yeah,
going to filter out a few candidates based on the risk? Suppose if you have 10 candidates popping up in the scanner, how are you going to decide which ones to focus and which ones to ignore?
right. So very simple. See, for example, rain is almost 20% away from DBS. So I will straight away ignore this candidate,
Okay.
because there's no point in buying few quantities and riding this stock. I would rather buy something which is like offering me a good risk reward, so
Okay.
that my quantity also increases again. So this stock is interesting. Then again, solar industry. So today I had placed an order, but this didn't trigger.
Okay.
Okay, I had placed an order at around
Obviously, Dalmia
870.
Bharat you would have ignored, isn't it? Because the risk is too high there.
Yeah, Dalmia Bharat also. So what I do is that I just sort here basically. I am already interested in first three candidates here.
Right, right, got it. So basically, you're focusing on the candidates which offer a low risk entry for you.
Correct, correct.
Okay,
And because it's a bear trap, so what happens is that I mean the weak hands have already gone out from the system.
correct.
Okay. So look at this solar industries. Even this is very interesting. But the only thing is that this is little far away from the moving average.
Okay.
So I mean it's still a good setup, but it is still far away from your. Ideally,
But
I like
is that
situation.
a red flag? Is that a red flag? Meaning, would you be a bit hesitant in that scenario
Yes,
if the
yes.
price is
I
little
will
away
be a
from
little
moving?
bit, yeah, a little bit hesitant. I will rather trade this stock in this area where it
Got
is
it, got
near
it.
to
Yeah, I
moving.
was just about to point out that area. That was a perfect setup, isn't it? Right near
Correct.
the moving average, you had a bad trap.
Even this area was good here.
Correct,
However,
correct.
this never, I mean, this actually failed. This area failed, but it was still good to trade at this level. And if you
So
see,
how do you
again,
trail the stop loss, Vishant? Once you take the entry, how do you exit?
it's only DBS. It's always DBS.
Oh, acha. You don't use high pole?
No, no. Yeah, I mean DBS or high pole.
Oh, okay, okay.
In fact, what I do is that, so this is something which it was very simple, but this is something which Raju sir has helped me in doing it. So this is my condition, DBS or high pole. So what it tells me, run this scanner daily on your portfolio. Simple. Double bottom cell, high pole. There was one more candidate here, PFC,
Hmm.
but this doesn't look like a trending to me. So most likely I will just drop this stock, because this looks like a tight consolidation here. So probably I will not trade this. And again, sometimes I also look at free float of the stock. So PFC being a very high float stock, I would rather concentrate on solar industries and Quest. Okay, so let me
Right.
go back to now here.
Got it.
So before that, one quote I would like to put up here, which is by Naval sir. It's like it isn't 10,000 hours that create outliers, it's 10,000 iterations. So, and in fact, you have also mentioned it so many times in our newsletters, right? And in fact, in the recent newsletter, you discussed about this fact that this system is. I mean, if you're looking at a pie chart, if you remember, just last week you have mentioned this
Correct.
concept. If you look
Yeah,
at pie chart, your position sizing and psychology makes at least 80% of your system, right?
that's right.
20% is just the system which I'm showing. So whatever I'm showing is just 20%, right? I mean, the majority of things lies in your iterations and how well and disciplined way you follow that. So this was the section, BK sir, which I was mentioning.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is from the
So this
book,
is the
Bear
extract
Traps
from
in
the book, is
Uptrend.
it?
Bull traps in downtrend are effective setups and nice opportunities for traders. And this
Right.
is the system based on this particular three lines by Mr. Prashant. So it is all in the book. It is nothing outside.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. Because we keep talking about it in every other session, but certain things just clicks with certain people, and you just take it forward, and it's wonderful. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it offers me around 62% success ratio with around 2.72 expectancy. Risk reward
Okay,
is also good at around 5, and average return is around 15%.
okay, okay. So Vishant, in the first slide, if you remember, you were talking about buying on breakouts as well as buying on pullbacks, right?
Correct.
So the presentation, are you just confining yourself to the bear trap pattern alone, the pullback entries alone?
Yeah. For this session's purpose, I'm just restricting it to
Acha, acha, got it. So basically, what you're trying to convey is that when the breath is in the neutral territory and rising, you will look for pullbacks as well as breakouts, right?
yes,
Okay,
absolutely,
okay.
absolutely. Yeah,
So you're just going all in, basically going very aggressive.
correct.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here are a few charts, which we can, right away see. So these are my like recent trades. Okay. And I
Okay.
have also tweeted. So if you can look at my timeline, you can very well see this trades
No, no,
here.
no. That's fine. Don't go to Twitter now.
No,
Instead, what you can do is just open a few charts and show that. That will be good enough. We are
yeah.
not, we are not in that sharing the screenshot kind of. So
Let's
that's
see.
not required, isn't it?
So because I said I do it in 1%. See here
Yeah.
now. Okay. So let me just multiple counts and trend lines. So if you remember here, I just told you, right, that ABC now has become my, it's part of the patterns now. So this is the
Correct.
ABC pattern here,
Right.
and this was the follow through. But obviously here I am entering at the bear trap.
Acha, got it. Okay.
This was near the trend line. In fact, earlier it also gave the similar pattern here. See, I mean,
Right.
obviously there was
Right.
no ABC here, but there was a bear trap near your trend. I mean,
Right.
near
Right.
your moving average, and look at the returns it gave. Like it was
Wonderful.
almost 1x from
Yeah.
here, basically. And
Yes.
now again
Yes.
it gave an opportunity. So I think I'd entered somewhere around 47. This was somewhere around 440 or something. Correct. Currently it
Okay.
is like around 600 or something.
Oh,
Right.
and your trailing stop loss will be at the double bottom cell level, right?
Yeah, whenever it happens. So see, I mean, that's why I'm not using any counts for my profit booking, because I might miss such kind of moves here. If I restrict myself
Yeah, I
to.
got it. So, but just to understand, because you talked about the entry level, and now it's so very nice to also communicate the trailing stop loss level also, isn't it? So that people will get an idea about what is the kind of profit you might end up locking in. So, which is why I just wanted to get that trailing stop loss level as well.
Correct. And like you said, I mean, even you can take high pull. So, for instance, if the stock has run up quite good here, right?
Correct.
But then
Correct.
it gives a high pull, it is better to exit, because that's the first sign of, maybe kind of a distribution here at the top.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
also helps. If the stock is trending, and if there is some activity like, like a mini top happening, or a kind of a high pull happening, those are first signs for you to, get out from the stock actually, right?
Right.
So point and figure also helps you into catching the tops. I mean, many may not be aware, but this is again mentioned quite well in the book, and even in so many our sessions, the entire Define Edge team mentions this particular concept. But
Right.
a point and figure can be used for that also. The next was Hull.
And when did the trade trigger, Vishant, in IEX date wise?
Yeah.
Just to
So
get an
what?
idea.
Yeah, like I said, the continuation box you cannot see now because the stock has run here.
No, no, no. Out of
Uh,
memory, if you could recollect, maybe about 2, 3
Yeah,
weeks
so
ago, probably.
it was somewhere near, I think, 460 or something, if I recollect.
Okay,
And
okay. No
usually
worries,
what
no
I
worries.
look at, yeah, if I usually what happens if the
See,
if,
this column started only at 20 on 23rd of August, so it's less than 2, 3 weeks old trade. It can't
yes,
be
yes,
more than that. Yeah,
correct. So somewhere
yeah,
around 450 or 460, I might have
yeah,
entered here, somewhere near
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
But
Got it.
yeah, but one more concept I use. So basically, if and usually I basically try entry levels are more towards this particular concept. So I look at the previous day high of the stock. So if it
Okay,
is not very, if it is like just 1 or 2% higher than the current price, okay, I rather place my bet on the just 1 or 2 rupees higher than the previous day high. So many a times what happens, the stock is not able to cross that particular level itself. And I can give you one example here. It's a very good example here. think it was Garware.
Meaning you're talking about a entry rule filter, is it basically?
Yes, correct. So let me see. Gar Fibers. So was
Which
it
stock is this?
Garware
Garware
Fibers?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I don't Garware or was it Galaxy Surfactants? I think. No, I don't remember. There was a stock basically which it didn't cross its previous day high and it started falling from there. So
Meaning in point and figure there is a bear trap, but what you do is you wait for the previous day's high to be exceeded
yes,
before you take an entry, right? That's what
correct,
you're trying to do, isn't it?
correct.
Okay.
So yeah. So let us take another example. Hull. So if you look at Hull, my entry was near here for Hull. This
Okay.
was the bear trap, and it was very near to it was very near to your moving averages also.
Correct.
And like I said, even for DBS, so here the DBS was if I enter here, my DBS was around 868. Okay.
Right.
Now I keep on moving my DBS. Now when this column of X was formed, right, my
Right.
DBS was 997, right.
Right.
Now when this column was formed, my DBS was 1059. Okay,
Okay.
1059. But usually what I do, I just place a little high, I mean little higher than the DBS. I don't actually place it at DBS
Okay.
because I think that's too tight. So I think I will place my bet at around 1055 or something. So luckily, if you see here, the
So
low
what is the
price.
kind of allowance do you give for the stop loss? Meaning if the DBS is say at 100 rupees, will you give an allowance of maybe say 0.5% or 1%, or how do
Yeah,
you decide
almost
the
half a
level?
percent, not too much, approximately like 0.5%,
Acha, acha. Okay.
0.25% or 0.5%, not more than that, basically.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but I never put the proper DBS as my stop loss. I just
Okay.
be little lower because see my position sizing is intact, right? And here I've already made money in this stock.
Correct. Correct.
So
Correct.
इतना कंजूसी क्यों करने का ना मतलब it's okay. I mean, if it also print one more box, it is fine as per me. Yeah.
Right.
In,
But
in
out
fact,
of curiosity, was the high pole triggered in the previous column, Vishant? I'm just wondering.
yeah. See, high pole was 1080,
Right.
and the low was around 10. Okay, so here the mid value was 1102, and the here mid value is 1082, and the high pole is around 1080.
1080. And what is the low of the next column?
1069.
I get a feeling the high pole might have been triggered, but I don't know whether you use the high pole or not. That's
No,
okay.
no,
That's
here I have not used the high pole for exit. I mean,
got it. That's up to the individual to decide the
yeah.
trade
But in this case, in this case, I did not exit. In fact, I was planning to exit here at this level because DBS might have triggered, but
Okay. Okay.
because my stop was little far here, and to be so see what happens here actually. Usually, I don't even put high pole as my system. So all these stops are in system. This is something which Vittal sir has inculcated into me that it is better to put it in stop loss. Again, it's from person to person. Many people like to manage them manually. Many people like they like to put it in system. But because
Right.
even I am working, for me it is very difficult to track my trade. So I better put my stop loss in system itself, right? And
Okay.
the system gives you a lot of opportunities. So I mean it's okay if you get out of a trade. I mean it doesn't hurt you. But what happens is that here, what will happen is that at this stage, my stop loss was around 997. So high pole will never trigger it basically. But
Okay.
what happens when I scan? But when I scan the same day, I get to know that okay, the high pole was triggered here. Then the next day I see what is happening. If the stock falls further, then probably I might decide to exit. But the stock actually reverses, right? In this case, it actually got reversed after like couple of days. So I was like good to go. That I mean I don't need to now spend more time here. But even a further few point years, I might have exited the stock.
Okay.
Okay, let us take Prestige. This was again, these are all recent trades, and I'm discussing.
Yeah. Wow, this is prestige, real estate stock.
Real
Yeah.
estate, yeah, right. And also, I mean, like you said, what makes you think that you should buy these stocks? Because there are a lot of concepts in point and figure that you can use to improve your accuracy. So that time I saw that real estate was doing good. So why not? I mean, it's a trending stock. It is actually giving you bear trap. Then there is absolutely no second thoughts about to enter this trade, right? And the decision was right in this
Right.
case. So I entered somewhere here. Yeah, but
Hello.
one thing I've noticed using this system. Yeah, now it is clear. The only thing I noticed that when a stock is in bear trap, usually, right? So most of the time, the relative strength will not be so good in such kind of stocks. So because the stock, so if the stock is falling here
Okay.
and if Nifty is doing good, so this stock will never come in my RS scanner. It will always show that okay, it might be somewhere near
Right.
0 or 1. The RS, if you look at the RS score, total RS score, it will be between 1, 2. I mean, it will be positive, but it will not be so strong basically. But when it
Right.
starts moving, then it will actually come in all the, it will tick all the tick marks in RS also.
Right. 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 Right.
But yes, when it comes to the sector, probably you can use it to your advantage.
So
Maybe
when you trade those turtle breakouts, which of course is not part of this discussion, are you looking at the same universe of stocks? Meaning you run the same scanner, same output, and
correct. So that is something I've tried to just make my life little simpler. So I think those universe of stocks are more than enough for you to trade even turtle breakouts, because turtle breakouts again. So what happens is that if the stock is like trending, and if the stocks are near the 52-week high, and there is a consolidation at the top, okay, then that is also a sign that if it's a turtle breakout and you get a follow through on that turtle breakout, that those stocks will tend to do good actually, right? Because those are already trending. So
right.
if you see here, I mean, in fact, I have already, these are all turtle breakouts. This is a 10 column turtle breakout, which I'm using. So if I
Oh,
see if
okay.
it's 10 column, yeah, 10 column means, more consolidation, and see how the so even this is a turtle breakout here. All right. This was a turtle breakout here. Follow through. This was a turtle breakout. There was a DTB follow through. But what happened? There was a bear trap immediately after your turtle breakout.
Right.
Right. So like I said, probably, I mean, I will not, and again, like I said about conditions, I am not sure what was the Nifty breadth level during these levels, which prompted me not to take trade on a turtle breakout, but, take a trade on, say, a bear trap, right?
Yeah.
But after consolidation, it did quite well. One more example I'll give is KPR Mill. Again, these are again very recent examples.
Yeah.
So see, this bear trap was formed near your moving average,
Oh, nice. Okay.
right? नाइस नहीं सर सब आपने सिखाया है एक्चुअली आई एम जस्ट यूजिंग इट टू माय एडवांटेज I mean this is something that I mean you have taught that something called as mean reversion. I mean I might have heard the word mean reversion first time from you only. So this is actually मतलब book में था प्रशांत सर के but कभी समझा नहीं what is he talking about mean reversion, but I think you have taken a couple of videos where you have explained what mean reversion means. So this
Yeah.
is nothing but mean reversion कि ये मतलब थोड़ा नीचे आया towards this mean here and then it tends to do well. So I had again this stock I remember entering at around this levels somewhere around 1800 levels only, and
Okay.
surprisingly it did quite well in a very less time. I mean I think day before on I think Thursday closing it was almost up by 14%.
Correct.
KPRM.
There was a big move on Thursday. Yeah.
Here are few examples. Again, Canfin Homes is the last example I'll show you. Canfin
Yeah.
Home.
And probably you can show one example which didn't work, so
Yeah, yeah,
that people will be slightly more balanced about.
right. So I mean, see again here if you see, turtle breakouts have done good here also at these levels.
Correct.
In fact,
Right.
it gave a triple bottom sell here, but again it was a good move here from here to here actually. So
Okay.
from 528 it did 577, and from 572 it's now almost 624 or something. Okay, and
Okay.
there's no signs of any reversal here.
Right.
I have not tracked it today, Canfin Homes, but absolutely there is no sign of reversal here actually as of now.
Canfin was probably just hovering around 1% gainer, that kind of a thing. Yeah,
Right.
if I remember right, it was up some 1% or something for the best part of the day. I don't know where it closed.
So let me give you more trades where it never worked. Okay, Adani Ports. So if you see here, I mean, this I won't say it was a complete failure, but my entry was somewhere here. It did a lot of consolidation. It
Okay.
also went up, right? But I think somewhere near here my exit was there. So it was like almost at a cost here for me for exit.
Acha, okay.
But then it fell, yeah. Then it fell, and again it is now in consolidation. Another example is AU Bank. There was some news in AU Bank that time. This particular stock reacted very badly. So I was caught at the wrong side of the trade.
Okay.
See here. So this was the area where I had bought. So it was near my moving averages. So there was a lot of hoopla hulla about this stock, and even that time the banks were starting to outperform. So I thought that okay, let me enter this trade. But this immediately reversed. In couple of days, there was a double bottom sell here.
Right.
So yeah, but there is one more thing. One more good thing about the bear trap is most of the time what will happen is we don't follow a certain limit of column of O's here, right?
Right.
Because I risk at around 10 to 11%. But I have observed one more thing here. Okay, what happens is that the follow through of this trades usually gives you exit at cost or at a very minimal loss, because you are not closing below your trade below your your pattern. So this is my
Okay.
closing. So this is my low of the pattern. So if I say
Right.
double bottom sell, double top buy, so the low here is 1158. So
Okay.
my loss is somewhere around 1146 if I look at double
But
bottom sell.
did you not take that previous trade, Vishant? There was before the broadening, there was a bear trap there also, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
Did
Here
your
there was.
trade not get triggered there?
It might have triggered, but I don't remember taking it now. Actually, this must be some.
Okay. No issues. Because that would have been a losing trade straight away, isn't it?
Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely, absolutely.
And one more thing, Vishant, can you quickly show us the breadth scanner and tell us how you're reading it or using it in your trading? Because you showed that slide about position sizing based on the breadth. So,
Yes,
so that people who are new to TradePoint or who don't know about TradePoint, they will get some idea about what we are talking about.
yes, yes,
So,
absolutely. So there is a section called as
yeah,
menu of.
you're going to the breadth indicator and you're choosing P and F DT%, right?
Yes, and I'm
And you're
choosing.
running this on the Nifty 50 universe, isn't it?
Yes, correct. Okay,
And
same
in
0.25%
0.25 default setting. Yeah.
default settings here. If I want to analyze, I will increase my time frame if I want to do some analysis. But if you see here, so the closing here was around 38% on 8,
Right.
right? But if you see the breadth is falling.
Correct.
So when the breadth is falling, it is always better to take a low risk here in this area. So
Okay.
I am only taking 0.25%. Currently, I am only taking 0.25% of the risk.
Okay. So on the way up earlier, when the breadth started turning around and moving up, in that period, you would be basically looking at 0.5% of your capital risk, isn't it? Because things are very
Absolutely.
conducive and you want to get aggressive there.
Right, right. So
Okay.
when the bread started, so if it is above 20 and if it is improving, but if you notice here, this increase was like very quick in Nifty 50. It
Right.
was like
Right.
immediately in 3 to 4 days this rise was there. Usually it doesn't happen, but this was a very swift rise. So that is one more thing. When there is a good consolidation, then the breakouts are very fast here in Nifty 50.
Right.
So that's the reason you see this must be hardly this started at around 21st August, and in next 10 days like 5 or 6 trading sessions, Nifty 50 was like almost 80 here,
Oh, okay.
80%.
Okay.
This is
Right.
double
Right.
top percent. Double top by percent. Traditionally, it's very lagging, right? Because
Correct.
X% is very fast number of columns in in X, but it is very lagging. So but still it was 80, which means there was some trouble here to go long. So this time again, then after this starts coming down, I will reduce my risk. Even after 60, my risk start reducing. So when it crossed here again my risk was 0.25% only. So even if the now the
Right.
then these are testimony, right? I mean to the all the concepts that are written in the book. Now because the stock
Okay.
is spending and there was a bear trap already here, right? So during this fall, the stocks that I traded were not affected much. So you take you look at IEX, you take KPR Mills, you take Canfin Homes.
Right.
So
Right.
during this one, there is hardly any dent on those stocks actually. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a foolproof strategy. No, there is nothing called as foolproof in stock market. But yes, I mean, if you have your position
Yeah,
sizing
that's
in,
right. That's
if you have
right.
your strategy in place, and if you have a discipline in place, you keep on doing. There is a possibility that tomorrow all these stocks might, hit my double bottom sell. But I'm prepared for it actually, for those scenarios.
Right. So have you run through your full presentation slides?
Yeah. So these were
Because
the same charts that
we didn't
yeah.
follow the protocol, isn't it? We are just like jumping around from.
Yeah. But these were the screenshots that I've shared, in my
Acha,
presentation.
acha, okay. So
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
So
So basically, I
you
mean,
can have talked about the entire presentation. If you have missed anything.
no, I don't think so. But now, I mean, we can open for any Q&A sessions if required.
No, that was fairly straightforward, Vishant. It was quite good. So basically, you articulated the things very nicely. So you were basically looking at the broader market framework. You're looking at the breadth indicator and then deciding the position size, and then you are trying to focus on the candidates which are very close to their 52-week high, and then you also want the trend to be intact. So you're using a combination of 4-5 moving averages to ensure that the undertone is bullish, and then you shortlist the candidates and scan for your favorite patterns, which is what we discussed today was the Batra pattern, and ideally near the moving average with a very affordable risk. So,
Correct.
and your exit is going to be either a double bottom sell or a high pull pattern, right? That
Yeah.
basically summarizes your approach, right?
Yeah. Excellent summary.
That's wonderful. And how long have you been trading this particular pattern with these setups? Meaning,
Yeah, so this is like for hardly, I think, 3 months now. So it's not
okay,
quite. Yeah, I mean, I've been using. I mean, earlier I should do while I was doing the R&D for this. So I have
okay,
traded few setups, but with very low position size, and because it was just like testing the waters and checking how this overall work.
okay,
But like I said,
okay,
I was lacking a lot of things, in terms of interpreting the breadth, right? Because I have seen, I mean, breadth making a lot of difference to my trading. Okay,
oh wow,
because
okay,
if you don't know how the market sentiments are, and you are like, so basically you are just jumping into an unknown water. Basically, you don't know whether it is a pond or it is a sea. You don't know anything, right? So breath is basically, I know that okay, where I am swimming, so I can accordingly be agile. So if I know that I want to cross the London Bridge, I'll have, I'll eat a lot, and I will actually do a lot of practice before crossing that river actually. But if I know
But
that it's a
Vishal,
small
tell
pond,
me something. Typically, the general feeling of regret is very strong, isn't it? Especially amongst traders. Meaning, when the breadth is, say, overbought, and you cut down your position size, right? And when you see that the market is still powering ahead, and the stocks are just flying away, well, have you ever encountered a kind of regret or feeling bad that why did I reduce my position size? I should have gone all in. Do you ever get that kind of a thought in your mind, or
yeah,
are
yeah,
you very
many
clear
times.
and confident that okay, but this particular rule saves me most of the time, so I'm not worried about the odd occasions where uh, I didn't go the
So
way
I'll
of
answer that question. After all, I am human, right? So I
yeah.
many times I get a self doubt. It's not only this particular aspects, but whenever I get a self doubt. So one beautiful thing about Define Edge is it's not only just selling of software, right? So when I get a self doubt, I ping Raju sir, I ping Vittal sir. Vittal sir, ये stock तो बहुत भाग गया अभी मैं क्या करूँ actually यार मतलब इतना सब strategy बना है. Then actually bring me back to the reality. So I mean I remember once this happening and I texting. So he only told me one thing. It's okay. There are a lot of opportunities in the market. ये चला गया दूसरा मिलेगा करके. And that happened. See, I mean, if you look at the just recent picks, using the same strategy, there are so many winners there and the losers. Because obviously you have done a lot of homework, and you have done a lot of research behind this concept. So I mean, over a period of time, it is bound to work actually. But yes, I mean, I sometimes I get self doubt, so then I seek help from my mentors. and many times, you know, I get a correct response that, okay, don't worry, you are not doing any wrong thing, you're doing the right things. Because sometimes it also happens that when you test some strategy, right, and for next 4 or 5 days your stop loss are hit basically. I don't know whether it has happened with you know, others, but it has happened me once or twice. You know, मतलब I am full fledgedly, you know, I am done कि अरे ये मस्त strategy है करके अभी इसी को चलाना है, and then I realized that all my stop loss are going for next 4 or 5 days, and I'm like totally, I am, you know, disheartened. I mean, what is this happening? But like I said, you know, it's like a journey. It's not you know, that you create a strategy and you immediately start working. That's actually false. You do a lot
Okay.
of you know, trial and error, but over a period of time, one thing, like I said, is something, you know, that that has actually helped me is the continuation basically, right? I mean, the disciplined approach by using one system itself, because in the advanced course that we have taken from you and Raju sir, that was one point which was emphasized a lot, that you keep doing this actually, don't change the plan at all. And that's what I'm doing basically. I'm not doing anything unique, I'm just doing the same things that have been taught.
That's wonderful, yeah, because we will talk about the same thing to the different batches that we do, but some people really like take everything that we say very seriously and put it to work, and then you can really see them progressing in their trading. But what you have demonstrated here is really wonderful, as in sticking to the system and not getting worried about trades that were missed, not getting worked up about taking a smaller position size, not getting worried about 5-6 stop losses getting triggered in a row. All those things are wonderful, and we keep talking about these things, but putting it to practice is a different ball game, and you seem to have done that exceedingly well. That's wonderful, Vishant. It was nice. And can you share your contact details? Someone, if they're interested in getting some clarification or some inputs from you about this strategy, would you mind
Yeah,
sharing your contact
yeah,
details?
yeah, absolutely. I think it's there. So I think in last slide I've mentioned my coordinates here. So it's like only, I mean, I am a very heavy Twitter user basically. I don't have a Facebook
Okay.
account.
Okay. That's wonderful. Yeah, it was so nice to um, uh, do this session with you, and we are so very happy that someone who did our course has taken the learnings to the next level and come up with a strategy which suits you basically. That is what is critical, isn't it? You have developed
Yeah,
something that suits your requirement, and then it becomes that much more easier to stick on to that system irrespective of the outcome. So that's wonderful. Yeah, right. It was a pleasure interacting with you, Vishant.
right. And I mean, I would personally like to thank, you know, my mentor Abhishek Datta. He's been a, you know, wonderful help for all these years. Vittal sir, you personally, you know, Raju sir. So you guys have, like, you know, taken me to next level actually. It wouldn't have been possible to, you know, I mean, right from, like, you know, novice to actually trading on tips, and, you know, I mean, taking external help, then, you know, getting stuck into all these indoor calls for scams and all the stuff, and now, you know, I mean, doing your own trading, and, you know, I mean, doing it very religiously actually has, you know, basically I feel it's a totally next level for me, you know. And then after all these things, finally an opportunity to actually, you know, get interviewed by my mentors is something, you know, it's like an icing on cake basically. So
No, no,
so
it's equally so very what shall I say? It makes us so very happy when we do such sessions which with people who we have I wouldn't say trained, meaning shared our knowledge. Obviously, you guys are already what shall I say, experienced, and the incremental thing. It's like you have a batting coach, but if you have someone like Sachin in your team, you don't need a batting coach for Sachin, isn't it? Probably once in a while you give those finer points or whatever. That's what we basically do in all these courses, and help you get out of the thing. And before we wind up, how many trades have you initiated? How many trades have you put through roughly, meaning using this strategy?
right, so I think around 30-35 trades, not more than that, and approximately 4 or 5 have hit a stop loss. Yeah, so around 30, and
Yeah, I can hear you.
approximately,
Yep.
yeah, approximately around 5 or 6, you know, on DBS, and maybe 2 or 3 odd at cost. So but the ones which give returns are like, they make up for
Okay.
all these losses and, the other slippages which are there.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Okay. That's nice here, Vishal. Let us just wrap it up here. Thanks a lot for your time and
Sure,
keep
sir.
in touch.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.